Okay, welcome back from winter break. Do you guys notice anything different about me? Are you ready to learn some stoichiometry? You may be thinking to yourself, what ometry? You've heard me talk about it before, and I've trumped it up to be this incredible thing, and you will soon discover it is. You will also discover that you already know how to do all of it. At least you should, anyway. Okay, so stoichiometry is a way of calculating how much of a chemical is consumed or produced in a chemical reaction. Because we know when a chemical reaction takes place, that chemicals are used up and new chemicals are produced. That's the whole point of a chemical reaction. Like when hydrogen and oxygen come together, the hydrogen and oxygen get used up and they can produce the chemical water. Okay, so of course it's more work with our good friend the mole. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use this equation right here, propane burning, to yield carbon dioxide and water. Remember, anytime you have a hydrocarbon plus oxygen, you always get the same two products, carbon dioxide and water. Okay. Now you'll start to see why you have to have learned all of the things I've tried to teach you, because, like I said, it uses all those skills, it puts them all together. We need the coefficients in front of each of these compounds. So technically there's a 1 in front of the propane, 5 in front of the oxygen, 3 in front of the carbon dioxide, and a 4 in front of the water. Those are the molar ratio, and we will use that molar ratio for all of the following problems. Okay, so whenever you're trying to figure out how does propane relate to oxygen, the relationship is a 1:5 ratio. Or oxygen to carbon dioxide, that's a 5:3 molar ratio. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the molar ratio a lot. So we're going to use that equation for all the following problems, so you can see that's why I put it up there in the top right hand corner, so that you're able to see the molar ratio on each of the slides. But normally when you do a problem, you'd have it right up there in front of you anyway, so it wouldn't really be a big deal. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our first example, which is how many moles of carbon dioxide are produced when 1.65 moles of propane burn. Okay, so I bet you can't guess what I'm going to say. Are you ready for it? What's the first step? Write what you know. Okay? Always be looking for the number. What is it you are trying to convert into something else? Sometimes it's easier to find the what you want to know. Okay? But you can see right here, I've already done it for you. We know that we have 1.65 moles of propane, and we want to know how many moles of carbon dioxide is that going to produce. Look for the question words, how many moles. That's how I knew what it is that I'm trying to get to. Now, something that you should notice about this kind of problem, which is very important, is we have one substance over here, propane, and a new substance over here, CO2. This is why we need the molar ratio. Look, the relationship between propane and CO2 is a 1:3 molar ratio. Okay, so we're going to need that when we're solving the problem. So write what you know, write what you want to know, write what you know again, 1.65 moles of C3H8. It becomes vitally important that you label completely. If you just write moles, you're going to get messed up, because look, there's moles of propane and moles of CO2. If you just write moles, you're going to get all kinds of messed up, because you don't know which moles you're talking about when you're trying to show your work, when you're trying to do your work. Okay, so always label completely. What are we trying to cancel out? Moles of C3H8. Okay, what are we trying to get to? Moles of CO2. Now, the only time that I can have my two different substances over each other. Okay, so see, we have one substance up here and a different substance right here. The only time that that's allowed is when they both say moles. You can never, ever write one substance on the top and a different substance on the bottom if they don't both say moles. Okay, so get that in your mind right now. If one was grams and the other one was moles, that's a no-no. You cannot put those over each other, okay? They both have to say moles. And the reason is because then you can look at the molar ratio. We know that 1 mole of propane is equal to 3 moles of CO2. And where did I get that from? From the balanced equation. Okay? So at this point, you could go ahead and grab your calculator and solve it. 1.65 times 3 gives you 4.95. And what is our unit for our answer? Well, look, this canceled out. with that. So we're left with moles of CO2, which is what we were looking for from the very beginning. Put a box around your final answer. Easy, right? That's stoichiometry. You just did it. All of that trumping up for nothing, pretty much. But of course, we can make it a little bit harder than that. So I want you to try this example, press pause, then try and work it out, see if you can do it, and then press play and watch me do it, okay? If you do it that way, you'll be much more likely to learn the material. So press pause now, and then come back and watch me do it and see if you came up with the same thing. Okay, so you should have this on your paper now at this point. Don't forget about the chemistry tip of the year. When in doubt, convert to moles, because everything goes through moles. Remember, we use the molar ratio from the balanced equation up here. So how many moles of water are produced from the combustion of 20 grams of propane? The first step, as always, is write what you know. 20 grams of propane. And what is it that we want to know? Look for the question word. How many moles of water? So we're looking for moles of H2O from one substance into another. So we're going to need the molar ratio at some point. And the chemistry tip of the year is, when in doubt, convert to moles. So 20 grams of C3H8 times and then a line. We're canceling grams. What can grams be converted into? Remember from your molar conversion sheet, grams can be converted into moles. When in doubt, convert to moles. But keep in mind, we can only convert into moles of propane because the only time you can switch substances is if they both say moles. And right now we have grams on the bottom, so we have to go to moles of propane first. And when you add it up from the periodic table, 1 mole of propane adds up to 44 grams of propane. Okay, so now we're in moles of propane, and we need to get to water. And the only way to get to water is if they both say moles. That's the only time you can switch substances. So look, I have moles of propane, and so now it's okay to put moles of water on the top. I could not have put grams of propane and moles of water on the top over here because you cannot put moles of one substance over grams of another substance. Those are not equal. Okay, where do the numbers come from for this? Remember, they come from the balanced equation. So we have 1 mole of propane is equal to 4 moles of water. 1 mole is equal to 4. That comes from the balanced equation. Okay, so at this point now look, we've gone from grams into moles, we've switched substances. That's what we wanted to get to. Take that and plug it into your calculator, and you should get 1.82 moles of water for your final answer. And again, make sure you always label completely and that you round to the hundredths place for me. Okay, are we doing pretty good? I hope. So let's keep going. Try another example. Again, do the same as last time. Try and figure this out. When in doubt, convert to moles. Look at what you're trying to get to, and press pause and then press play again when you've worked it out, and then watch me do it. Don't just watch me do it, try it on your own first. Okay, so let's do this one together. Again, we need to write what we know. We know that we have, according to the question, 12 grams of propane. And we want to know the mass of oxygen. Mass is always measured in grams. So this time we're going from grams of one substance to grams of another substance, but again, we still have to go through moles. Okay, we're just taking it one step further for each example. Okay, so 12 grams of propane. What's the chemistry tip of the year? When in doubt, convert to moles. We cannot put moles of oxygen on top because we do not have moles of another substance on the bottom. The only time you can switch substances is when they both say moles. You're going to get so sick of me saying that because people just don't get that. So please try and remember that. Don't be one of those people, okay? 1 mole, it's always 1 up here because we are converting from grams. Remember, if it comes from the periodic table, that's equal to 1 mole. Another common mistake is to start taking numbers from up here, the balanced equation, and putting them in your molar conversions from grams. That makes no sense. You've never done that before. The only time you will use these numbers up here is when you're switching from one substance to another. That's the only time. you'll use those numbers. Okay, so we know that this is 44 grams from the periodic table. Now we're in moles of propane. I can switch substances now because they both say moles. So I can go from moles of propane to moles of oxygen. That's a 1 to 5 ratio, okay, from the balanced equation. That's the only time I'm going to use those numbers. Now I'm going to go back to normal. I need to get to grams of oxygen, and we know how to go from moles to grams. You look at the periodic table. 1 mole of oxygen is equal to, remember it's diatomic, so that's 32 grams of oxygen. Okay, don't make the mistake of just writing O. So now we can plug this into our calculator, and you should get 43.63 grams of oxygen. And don't forget to box your final answer. Did you get it right? I hope you did. I know you're smart. You can do it. This is stoichiometry. This is as hard as it gets. Okay? So if you were stressing about it, no stress now anymore. I think we have one more example, and then we'll be done. So if 17.3 grams of carbon dioxide is produced, how many liters of propane is used up, assuming STP? So this is just asking you to recall what STP is, standard temperature and pressure, and that should set off an alarm in your head. Hey, STP, that means that 1 mole of any gas takes up 22.4 liters of space. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one. It's the same process. Write what you know. 17.3 grams of CO2. Write what you want to know. How many liters of propane? Okay, so we've got that. I want you to press pause now, see if you can finish the problem, and then come back. Okay, write what you know again. 17.3 grams of CO2 times and then a line. What's the chemistry tip of the year? Am I sounding like a broken record yet? Bueller. Okay, 1 mole is 44 grams. We've added that up a bunch of times. That came from the periodic table. Moles of CO2. I need to switch substances. I need to get to propane. The only time I can switch substances is if they both say moles. Now I can switch substances. Where do these numbers come from? The balanced equation. 1 mole of propane is equal to 3 moles of CO2. That's the only time I'm going to use those numbers. At no other time will you use the number from the balanced equation. Now I'm in moles of propane, and since it said STP, I have a way of converting to liters of propane. Okay, 1 mole is equal to 22.4 liters of propane. Practice makes perfect. So we've gotten to our unit that we wanted to get to. 17.3 times 22.4 divided by 44 divided by 3 gives us 2.94 liters of propane that are used up if you get that much oxygen produced. Or sorry, carbon dioxide produced. Okay, that's it. Piece of cake. You love stoichiometry now. I know you're all so excited because you just blaze right through that and you get it 100%, right? If not, it's a new semester. We've all made our New Year's resolutions, and you're going to come and see me and get some help during class. You're going to come and see me and get some help at lunch. Whenever, just get it done, okay? You're welcome. You all have A's right now. Okay, let's keep it that way. All right, next time we're going to talk about something scary sounding, but it's the same thing again. Limiting reactant and theoretical yield.